episode of War Machines. So, last time, we completed another semi-final episode that resulted in another contender getting sent over to the grand final, and quite a few other robots getting sent to the last chance section, where they will fight it out for a potential spot in the grand final. One of those potential extra spots in the grand final, at least. So, yeah, that's another heat down, and we are continuing to get closer and closer to the next section of the tournament. So, I think there's only 4 or 5 heats left. So, tonight we're going to start Heat L, where 12 more awesome robots are all going to make their debut and look to provide that initial first impression to show that they have what it takes to go far in this tournament and maybe even win the whole thing. So, yeah, they feature quite a few returning robots, a few fan favorites, and even some new faces. They're looking to shock the world, or at least shock the audience of this series, and by showing that they have what it takes to be able to play with the big dogs and potentially make a run in this tournament. So yeah, it should be a fun night. Let's go ahead and introduce the field before we determine which 8 of these 12 robots will be advancing to this group's semi-final bracket. Let's go ahead and meet the field. Here is tonight's field. So to lead off in the top left section, we have Max Backwards, who is back for their 3rd season of War Machines with that large and wide drum spinner. They have yet to get a win in this entire series of War Machines, but they'll be looking to change that tonight. Then down below we got Big Bill, the first rookie bot of this season. Definitely not a rookie to BattleBots, but this is their first season here where they're looking to debut that lifter and vertical spinner combination. And down below we got Copperhead, coming back with that drum spinner with that new and improved robot for their 3rd season. They haven't had the best track record within the first 2 seasons here, and a new fresh run starts here tonight. Then next up, we got another rookie bot to this series. We got Drought War Tiger, making a debut with that powerful drum spinner and that good looking design. Then we got another awesome looking design down below. We have Fathead Fish coming to this season, King of Bots, debuting that hammer design. Then following that, a surprise top 32 contender here, Holy Diver, who got a couple upsets last season. We'll be looking to rebound on that and start another run for this season. Then to start the second half of this list, we have Nelly the Ellibot, back for their 3rd season in War Machines. Definitely prove that robot, oddly decent, oddly well armored, and they'll be looking to pave some destruction with that hammer. Then next up we have Reality, with making their official debut, bring in that effective drum spinner. Then down below for this 3rd quadrant, for the last one of this 3rd quadrant, we have Slapbox, making their official debut to War Machines with that lifter. Start the last quadrant in this field, we have a major BattleBots fan favorite, and a major fan favorite to this YouTube channel. We have Moonstone, coming back for their 3rd season of War Machines with a new and improved robot and even more powerful horizontal spinner. Certainly one of the scariest robots in the field. Then next up, we have another rookie bot. We have Two-Headed Death Flamingo, coming in with those two nasty hammers and that awesome looking design. Then finally, for that last one, we have Blue 66 with a high up and very effective horizontal spinner they'll be looking to carve into their opponents. So yeah, we have an awesome looking field. We got 12 awesome robots that are looking to make their season 3 debut and start and make those first couple steps towards starting a major run in this season of War Machines. We're going to see who all is able to make that dream a reality. But I think we should go ahead and get to the fun right away and start talking about our first fight of the episode. For our first matchup of the episode, we have a battle between 2 fellow BattleBots contenders, one in their 3rd season of War Machines, and the second one in their rookie season of War Machines. We have Copperhead versus Slapbox. So on the left side, we got a new and improved Copperhead. Definitely needed that redesign for sure, because Copperhead does not have the best track record. They have had two very early exits in both seasons of War Machines, and they are looking to rebound on that. Show that they indeed do have what it takes to potentially go far in this tournament. So, yeah, they gotta get through this first opponent before they can accomplish that, and their opponent is Slapbox. So Slapbox is making their official debut in War Machines, bringing in that lifter design. Slapbox definitely has proven throughout their time in BattleBots that is a pretty effective control bot. So they'll be looking to use that ground game in that lifter, knock Copperhead off balance as quickly as possible, prevent Copperhead from getting any serious bites in with that drum spinner, and try to keep Copperhead away from those exposed wheels, because those are surely to be Copperhead's big target points in this fight. So, a major driving war this is sure to be between these two robots. But this should be a fun fight, I imagine. Should be a great matchup to lead it off, so I think we should go ahead and get to this showdown. Time for this matchup to begin. Bullbot being the middle. Copperhead already getting underneath, and Slapbox already loses a wheel. That is already Copperhead pulling off what they wanted to do, get underneath Slapbox and start eating away with that drum spinner, and they already got a tire. However, nice lift by Slapbox. Nice couple of lifts there, and huge lift there from Slapbox. Slapbox showing they are not out yet, but they lost a second wheel in the process. Slapbox already down to 2 tires left. Not a good start for them. They did get a couple good lifts in response, but Copperhead is just eating away at Slapbox piece by piece, and they're underneath them again. And there we go. More damage done to that front. Huge hit by Copperhead, and another tire comes off. Slapbox down to 1 wheel left. Copperhead going for that last one, and they got it! Wow! In under a minute, Copperhead has dismantled Slapbox piece by piece, destroyed that front, got all 4 tires. This new Copperhead definitely is one to watch for sure, and they have definitely earned their spot in the next round with that victory over Slapbox. So right off the bat, Copperhead went straight for blood, got underneath Slapbox, started going for tires early, and started damaging the front to prevent Slapbox from really ever getting underneath them. Slapbox got a couple nice lifts in, but they just took too much damage, took too many hits from that drum spinner of Copperhead to where they just couldn't handle it, at least. Copperhead got the shots they wanted, really picked their points, drove this fight brilliantly, and all that stuff factored into this victory by Copperhead, and this was a much deserved spot for them. Great start to this season. Let's move on. So coming up next, we have a battle between 2 rookie contenders. We have Reality and Two-Headed Death Flamingo. So on the left side, we got Reality, a robot who competed in the 3rd season of BattleBots with that drum spinner that's unique because the motor is literally inside the drum spinner, at least. That's what made Reality unique that season. And they'll be looking to use that drum spinner to just dismantle all their opponents piece by piece and try to win as many fights by knockout as they can. Their opponent is Two-Headed Death Flamingo, one of the coolest looking designs in that group, that flamingo style robot. It's a very wide robot, which will make getting to the sides and the back side of that robot very difficult. Then they got an arsenal of weapons at that front, ranging from those 2 flamingo style hammers and that flamethrower that's featured right at the front. So there's a lot of stuff on this robot. This robot might look cute, there's a lot on it that can kill you for sure. So, yeah, they'll be looking to smother Reality right from the start of this match, and then just eat away at that robot with those 2 hammers and that flamethrower, and try to limit the effectiveness of that drum spinner. So, yeah, I think this should be a pretty fun fight to see between these 2 robots. Should be a really cool match between 2 robots who are officially making their debut to this series of War Machines. I'm really excited for this fight, so I think we should go ahead and get to this match. time for this matchup to begin. Reality rushing right in there. It takes a hit from Two-Head Death Flamingo. The Two-Head Death Flamingo's got to be careful, so they flip themselves over whenever they fire those hammers. But what happened to Reality after that last shot? They just lost a wheel. So it looks like Two-Headed Death Flamingo managed to snipe an entire wheel with one of those hammer shots. That is an incredible start for them in this one. So, Reality, looks like that drum spinner has also been damaged. Those two hammers, they are lethal devices, clearly. So, a couple more pieces coming off. Looks like one of those, like, rabbit ears or whatever they're called on Reality have come off. Those two hammers are doing a lot of damage. Reality was temporarily at the backside. It looks like that lost wheel has really hindered some of their movement so far in this match. They are struggling just to fight back against this Flamingo bot. And now they just lost a big chunk of the drum spinner and now getting pulverized right on the top by those two hammers. So, yeah, certainly getting to see some huge stuff from this hammer bot here. So, great first impressions from these rookie bots. Reality attacking the backside a little bit. They're going the rest of that drum spinner though. Reality is now officially weaponless. They are now a box on 3 wheels basically right now. They gotta outdrive Two-Head Death Flamingo and use that push power to push Two-Head Death Flamingo around, potentially get a couple pins or put them on the hazards. Hope the hazards can maybe do a little bit of damage. There has been a little bit of smoke coming out of Two-Head Death Flamingo, but that has not slowed them down one bit here. They have been in full control of most of this match. So there we go from Reality over Two-Head Death Flamingo using those two hammers in order to escape. Some excellent driving maneuvers to get out of some of these pins and other great control moments from Reality. So, yeah, right back on the chase goes Two-Head Death Flamingo. Lands a nice shot right there. Reality has had some good moments despite not having that drum spinner, but is it really going to be enough? I still think they're way behind on points right now as we're under 30 seconds left to go now. So, yeah, another nice pushing moment there. They were temporarily at the backside, showing that it is possible to outmaneuver Two-Headed Death Flamingo. But yeah, they still got to do something much bigger than this in my mind. So 10 seconds left to go in this match. Some excellent pushes right here from Reality as some great last second action from them as we take this one to the judges. And this will be an interesting one to call for sure for them. So yeah, I gotta say in my mind, I think this is a relatively easy one for Two-Headed Death Flamingo, but you never know when a fight goes to the judges. So Two-Headed Death Flamingo, they struck first, they struck early, and they struck often. Managed to get an early wheel snipe in with those two hammers, and then even disabled that drum spinner completely, separating it from the entire robot and stuff. Two-Headed Death Flamingo couldn't have asked for a better start to this match. Reality certainly had some great moments in the later half of this match. They had to use that frame of that robot, those 3 wheels remaining, to just outdrive Two-Headed Death Flamingo and get as many good control moments as they could in and get a few pins in. They certainly got a few, so certainly had some good control moments. Wasn't enough. Anyway, the judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is Two-Headed Death Flamingo. So yeah, I think that was a pretty easy call in my mind. Then Two-Headed Death Flamingo, that awesome start they had to this match, certainly was probably what propelled them to the top in this one. Certainly a great robot, great debut from that thing. And definitely can't wait to see what they do in the semifinals, because this is a robot you definitely do not want to underestimate. Great stuff from them. We'll see them in the next round. We will see Reality in the Redemption Rumbles, and certainly this will be a robot to watch for sure. Anyway, let's move on to fight number 3 of the episode. For our third fight of the episode, we have a showdown between two drum spinner robots. We have Axe Backwards from BattleBots facing off against Drought War Tiger from King of Bots. So on the left side, we have Axe Backwards, back for their third season of this series. Haven't gotten a win so far. Very early exits in both of the two seasons they've been in so far, and they'll be looking to turn that around starting tonight. So Axe Backwards will be looking to get that drum spinner up to full speed, point that drum spinner right at their opponents, and charge in for a huge hit and try to do whatever damage they can. So on the other side, we got Drought War Tiger making their debut with their drum spinner. So they'll also be looking to get that drum spinner up to full speed and then just charge into their opponents, or potentially use that wedge on that backside to slow down any spinners they go up against and line them up to where they can swoop around and go in for a nice shot with their drum spinner. So yeah, I think both bots will have similar strategies here. Win the weapon battle between those two, target the other's exposed wheels. They both have exposed wheels that the other is certainly going to be targeting, and some other exposed sides. So whoever can outdrive the other is sure to be the one to win this match. So I'm excited for this battle between two hard-hitting drum spinners. This should be a fun match to see, and let's go ahead and get right to it and determine who will be claiming the next spot in next episode's semifinal. Let's get to this fight. Time for this matchup to begin. Slow start by Axe Backwards. Here comes Drought War Tiger, gets a little jab on those wheels. But Axe Backwards struggling a little bit with stability and trying to get set up here, try to go in for some nice shots. Couple decent hits from Drought War Tiger right off the bat. Now Drought War Tiger is flipped over. One of the big vulnerabilities of that bot is that robot is not invertible, or at least not well invertible. So, and here comes Axe Backwards going for some shots to the sides, going for some of those wheels. Not sure if they're trying to help out Drought War Tiger, trying to flip him back over, but Drought War Tiger getting time out right now. Is Axe Backwards going to have their first win in this entire series? And they have! Short fight and a quick knockout for Axe Backwards, but definitely a lot to look at for this one, because I'd say they were on the losing end for a majority of this fight. Lots of these weapon-on-weapon exchanges were favoring Drought War Tiger, and it wasn't even a shot by Axe Backwards that flipped Drought War Tiger over. I think it was more so their gyroscopic forces that did this. But however, that did leave them vulnerable to Axe Backwards, who went in for more shots with that drum spinner, targeted some of those exposed sides, or were possibly just trying to flip Drought War Tiger back over to keep the fight going. Regardless, though, Axe Backwards got some good shots on their drum spinner and managed to show that even them, they can get a victory in War Machines. This is their first win of this series. They'll be going to the semifinal. It'll be interesting to see who they fight next. So for batch number 4, we have a pair of King of Bots contenders who are both making their debut to this season. We have Fathead Fish and Woo66, two very different designs. So on the left side, we got Fathead Fish, another meme-looking robot. Interesting theme behind it, but a nasty hammer that certainly their opponents are going to have to watch out for. So, Fathead Fish will be looking to box rush any horizontal spinner such as their opponent they go up against, absorb hits from that spinner with that front, and then slow them down and then just pound on them with that hammer. So, it'll be interesting to see what they can show us in this fight. So their opponent is Woo66, who has a very high up horizontal spinner and quite a bit of reach within that horizontal spinner. So a lot of this has some serious advantages. They do have some serious vulnerabilities, such as the fact that that robot is not invertible. So that could make them real vulnerable if they manage to hit off Fathead Fish incorrectly. But they'll be looking to get that horizontal spinner up to full speed and then go in for a nice juicy hit on one of those exposed areas of Fathead Fish and avoid the box rush, because it's certainly coming, I imagine. So So yeah, I always love a good match between two rookie contenders, and we are about to get one right here. So I think we should go ahead and get to this showdown and find out which of these two rookie bots will be joining the others who have made it there into the next episode's semifinal. Let's go ahead and get to this fight. Time for this fight to begin. A little bit of a slow push there by Fathead Fish, taking a couple hits very early on. Not the kind of box rush I was expecting to see from Fathead Fish. Woo66 having no trouble scared to speed, and there's already smoke erupting from Fathead Fish and the control board KO. 2 fights in a row where we've had a really fast knockout, but this one certainly a bit brutal, more brutal the KO than the last one at least. So Woo66, no trouble getting that horizontal spinner up to speed. We didn't see the box rush I was expecting we'd see from Fathead Fish, and certainly this is what you could expect from this. Woo66 planted their shots very well in this one, managed to penetrate the internals and get the quick KO. Great victory by them, and we'll see them in the next round. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to another fight, a highlighted match, which features Holy Diver and Nelly the Ellie-Bot, 2 bots returning for their 3rd season in this series. So let's go ahead and see how that matchup went. So coming into this match, no real surprises config-wise for these 2 robots. Holy Diver with those 2 wedges and that vertical spinner, those really came into play early on in this match. So they were able to constantly knock Nelly the Ellie-Bot off balance and deliver quite a few blows with that vertical spinner. But Nelly the Ellie-Bot got a fair number of shots in with that hammer too. However though, Holy Diver just had so many more control moments with that vertical spinner and was able to dominate a bit more of that match compared to Nelly the Ellie-Bot. So this fight ended up going the full 3 minutes. Both robots ended up surviving and taking minimal damage. However, the kind of airtime Nelly the Ellie-Bot got is why the judges gave Holy Diver the victory and advanced him to the semifinal. So yeah, there we go. We'll actually get to see those highlighted fights coming up soon, by the way. So the plan is for an episode at the end of the heats and semifinals to feature all the untelevised matchups for anybody who's curious. But anyway, let's talk about the last matchup of the opening round. We have Big Dill and Tombstone, 2 fellow BattleBots contenders, one of them who's a serious fan favorite. So on the left side, we got Big Dill, who's a little bit of a Swiss Army robot here. They could either go with a lifter config with either a set of forks and a deadly vertical spinner, or they could go with a well-armored lifter that includes no vertical spinner. So they got a bit of a choice here as to what to use against such a hard-hitting horizontal spinner like Tombstone. But regardless, Big Dill is definitely not a robot to underestimate. It drives very well, it's got a lot of push power, and that vertical spinner, should they use that weapon, is certainly not one to be underestimated for sure. So their opponent is Tombstone, who is back for their 3rd season of this series. 2 top 16 runs in this series, and they'll be looking to add a 3rd one to their collection, and potentially go further, potentially win the whole thing. That robot is back with a much stronger design, and more importantly, a harder hitting horizontal spin. So, Tombstone will be looking to cause chaos early in this match and often in this match. And that's certainly what's helped them win fights in the past. So, yeah, I think a lot of this is going to come down to, can Tombstone get the shots they wanted? Can Big Dill slow down that horizontal spinner? Can they take the hits from that horizontal spinner and potentially land some nice shots of their own? I'm certainly excited to find out, and I'm excited to see a match between these 2 big dogs in the tournament. So, this should be a fun one. I think we should go ahead and get to this fight. Time for this matchup to begin. Big Dill charging right in there, knocking Tombstone off balance right at the start. So Big Dill clearly went with a vertical spinner and fork setup. Looks like they're going to try to go brute force from brute force here. Our parts are already flying, primarily pieces of Big Dill. However, they are getting to the sides and the backside of Tombstone, so hopefully they can get a wheel here. So if they can knock off a tire, that's potentially game over for Tombstone. But Tombstone having more trouble with their own balance when it comes to taking shots to the sides. A huge moment right there. Now Tombstone back up to full speed, a couple more pieces. That front is getting destroyed. That front is taking a beating on Big Dill so far. Tombstone coming with that hard-hitting spinner once again and already tearing apart their opponent. Another big chunk, looks like a part of that weapon had come off. I think it's possible Big Dill just lost the vertical spinner with that. Now they have only half the lifter on top of that. So, and there goes a tire on Big Dill. Tombstone tearing apart Big Dill piece by piece. And we're only a little over a minute into this fight, and Big Dill might already be on the ropes in this fight. A couple more nice shots, and Big Dill flipped over, but able to quickly self-right. And now Tombstone, here they come again, trying to attack that exposed sides, because I see one of those field guards was removed. However, they are off balance, and now they're back up once again, getting back going, getting that spinner back up to full speed. How relentless is Tombstone? Just absolutely taking it to Big Dill so far in this fight. Another huge couple of shots there from Tombstone. What a fight! Knockout! Alright, so that'll do it right there. Tombstone. What a debut to this season. So right off the bat, Tombstone was getting that horizontal spin up to full speed. They charged right in there and tore apart Big Dill piece by piece. I'm curious what would have happened if Big Dill had gone with the more armored lifter instead. Use that to maybe deflect the blade of Tombstone and knock them off balance and take advantage of those stability issues we were seeing throughout this match. So outside of those stability issues, like this was a very well driven, like a perfect match for Tombstone. As soon as they got that spinner up to speed, they just started ripping into Big Dill, tore them apart piece by piece, getting rid of those forks, tearing apart their side armor, getting to some of those wheels, and then penetrating some of those intros. Even broke the spinner too. Great fight from Tombstone. Let's move on. So yeah, now we are on to the redemption round, where we got Big Dill, Fathead Fish, Route War Tiger to lead it off. All three robots were victims of KO tonight. So on the left side we got Big Dill, who just was defeated by Tombstone and took a lot of damage in the process. Fathead Fish, who took a quick defeat to Blue 66, with that horizontal spinner managed to get through that frame quickly and easily. Then we got Drought War Tiger, who suffered a little bit of an embarrassing loss at the hands of Axe Backwards. So all three of these robots have something to show here. So, yeah. The question is going to be, what is Big Dill going to go with for this fight? Are they going to go with the same fork and vertical spinner setup? Or has that been too damaged to where maybe they'll want to go with the lifter configuration? Maybe that'd be the better choice for this one. That's what it really could come down to for Big Dill. Then Fathead Fish, definitely they need to be able to take shots from spinners better. Hopefully they improve that for this fight. And then Drought War Tiger, they just need to not get inverted anyways. So those are kind of some of the vulnerabilities of all three of these robots. So I suspect a lot of this is just going to be driving, as we've seen throughout lots of these Redemption Rumble showdowns. Because all three of these robots, I think, are equally capable of winning and have advantages and disadvantages over the other. So the strategies that these three robots put on display in the Redemption round is certainly going to be key towards this victory and potentially could result in whoever is the one that comes out on top. So regardless, this should be fun. This should be an awesome Redemption Rumble to see. Well, let's go ahead and get to this fight and determine which robot will be claiming spot number 7 in next episode's semi. Let's go ahead and get to this fight. Time for this Rumble to begin. Looks like same configurations for all three robots from what we saw in their first match. Big Dill going after Drought War Tiger. Nice shot from Fathead Fish. Now Big Dill flipping Drought War Tiger over. Sounds like Big Dill's strategy was to first go for Drought War Tiger, knowing that that robot is not invertible. But however, they did just help them out right there, help them get right back over. And now Drought War Tiger, using that wedge, was temporarily underneath them. Not sure what happened to Fathead Fish, but they are floundering right now, trying to get right side up. Big Dill getting that lifter real heavily involved here, even that vertical spinner as well, it looks like. So Big Dill off to a good start in this fight, and they have another flip on Drought War Tiger. But now Fathead Fish right back up, and they get a nice shot on Big Dill. Another couple of shots from Fathead Fish right there, but Big Dill on them right now. So yeah, lots of heavy shots so far, and Drought War Tiger at the sides of Big Dill. But they got to be careful, of course, and not sure what's happening right there, but looks like a little bit of a havoc to the game. But yeah, big chunk just came off of Drought War Tiger there. Whenever that drum spinner went out of control, it caused them to lose part of that spinner. But now they are on their head once again. Both Drought War Tiger and Fathead Fish, both robots seem to be at the mercy of Big Dill right now. Big Dill trying to help out, it looks like. It's like they're targeting those sides as well, trying to go for those exposed wheels. But they are just not letting up on Drought War Tiger. There goes that back tire there on Drought War Tiger. They are being caught out right now. Looks like Big Dill's trying to help them out, but not happening. Well, there we go. Now the countdown has stopped. Now Fathead Fish finally back up after floundering a bit, looking to try to go in for some nice action. But yeah, certainly Big Dill has been in control for most of this match. 1 minute left to go in this fight. Big Dill, I think, is definitely on top. I think both of these other two robots need to do something fast in order for them to have a chance in this fight. Drought War Tiger flipped over again. I see no movement from them. There's a countdown coming soon on them. Big Dill's still attacking. Fathead Fish looks like they're hanging back. They're not gonna let Drought War Tiger avoid the countdown this time around. And Drought War Tiger has officially been kited out. It is now down to just Fathead Fish and Big Dill left. So 20 seconds left to go in this fight, and quite a bit of action right now. Big Dill back on the attack, knocking Fathead Fish off balance. What a driving masterclass from Big Dill in this one. Less than 10 seconds to go. It is looking like this Rumble is going to end with a judge's decision. And it has. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. I think this one's going to probably be a pretty easy judge's decision, I gotta imagine. Because Drought War Tiger was a little bit competitive, but eventually ended up getting kited out. Big Dill in major control for a lot of this match. Lots of great control moments. That lifter was heavily involved in this fight, and certainly was the difference maker in this fight. So Big Dill flipped over Drought War Tiger a few times, got to Fathead Fish, did a little bit of damage with that vertical spinner, but certainly was using that lifter to dictate the pace of the fight more here. Fathead Fish did get quite a few decent shots in with that hammer, but wasn't enough though. So I'm not sure, but certainly it was nice to see some good moments from them. That robot was definitely able to take shots from spinners better this time around. Was it enough to take the win? I don't know, but let's go ahead and find out what the judges had to say. So that is it. The judges' votes are in, and we have a unanimous decision. The winner is Big Dill. Yeah, as I said, I think that was a pretty easy call, because while Fathead Fish did get quite a few good hammer shots in this fight, it was Big Dill with that lifter dictating the pace of a majority of this fight, getting some excellent shots in with that lifter, even getting the vertical spinner involved a couple times. This was all around a great Redemption Rumble performance, and I can't wait to see what they're able to do in the next round. For sure, that whoever they're taking on, we'll have to keep an eye out for them, because this is a robot you do not want to underestimate. Anyway, I think we should go ahead and get to Redemption Rumble number 2 and start talking about our last matchup of the episode. So for our last Redemption Rumble of the episode, we have a battle between Nelly the Ellibot, Reality, and Slapbox. So on the left side, we got Nelly the Ellibot, who lost by a judge's decision to Holy Diver in an untelevised match. Then we got Reality, who lost by brute force in a battle with Two-Head Death Flamingo by judge's decision. Then last but not least, we got Slapbox, who got eaten alive by Copperhead in their opening round matchup. So what's it going to come down to here, at least, for these three robots? What do these three robots all need to show? So, one thing Nelly the Ellibot showed very well in their last match is that robot is pretty tanky, at least in this series. As robot was able to take a lot of punches from Holy Diver and didn't give out very easily. They need to figure out how to scoop up their opponents with that wedge and pulverize them as much as possible with that hammer. Then Reality. One advantage they have is that they are the only robot, at least in this one, with a spinner type weapon. They are probably going to be the robot that will dish out the most damage to these three robots. So Reality is going to need to get that drum spinner going and just do as much damage as possible to both of these opponents, potentially use that advantage to knock some of these robots out. And then Slapbox is just going to need to control the fight at lifter, dictate the pace of the fight, and gain control and momentum early on in this match. Something they weren't able to do very well in the Copperhead fight. So yeah, this should be a pretty awesome Rumble to see. We have three very different robots, three robots with three very different styles. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be a good Rumble to end the night, and I'm certainly all for this one. So I think we should go ahead and get to this Rumble, determine who will be claiming the last spot in next episode's semi. Let's go ahead and get to this match. Time for the final match to begin. And so right off the bat, both robots going for Reality there. But Reality flips Nelly the Ellibot over, and Nelly the Ellibot struggling to self-right. So one weakness is that robot is not very well invertible. It's possible for them to get back over, but it's not very easy. And we can see they're already getting caught out. Reality and Slapbox going at it right now. Slapbox taking advantage of Reality's drum spinner being way less effective when the robot is inverted. However, nice couple of shots from Reality, but they flip themselves over again. However, Reality is invertible, so they can still drive and everything. So, nice lift right there from Slapbox. However, they lost a wheel there. It was like Slapbox trying to attack stuff on top despite being inverted. And they managed to clip an entire tire with that. So, here comes Reality pointing that drum spinner once again. They need to get right side up though, because that's their preferred method of attack. So, now they are. And now they're going for the attacks, going for those wedges right there. But Slapbox is not backing down one bit. So, nice flip there from Slapbox. Quite a bit of action from that robot here. And Reality now right back up. So, and right back onto their head once again. So, about halfway through this fight right now. It's been a pretty back and forth fight. Nelly the Ellibot has been caught out for a while. So, the fight is between these two for that last spot in this episode's semifinal. So, a little over a minute left to go in this fight. And Slapbox taking a hard hit after quite a few good control moments. So, Slapbox, I think Slapbox is winning this fight right now, but Reality is definitely not done yet. So, another nice flip from Slapbox, showing some excellent control here in this fight. But Slapbox loses another wheel. They are now down to 2 tires left as they lost that front right tire. Now right back on the attack as Reality is inverted once again. They have spent a lot of this fight on their head, but certainly they have fought well. And now they're getting a couple more nice shots with that drum spinner. So yeah, that's it right there for these two. We get a knockout to end the night. So back and forth fight between specifically Reality and Slapbox, because Nelly the Ellibot was quickly flipped over and then pretty quickly caught out due to lack of movement. So then it ended up becoming a fight between Slapbox and Reality to determine the last spot. So Slapbox was arguably winning a lot of this fight. They were dictating the pace of the fight with that lifter and constantly constantly flipping Reality over to make that robot less efficient, but it wasn't enough though. Reality managed to get the shots they needed in and managed to penetrate Slapbox enough to be able to take them out and win this fight by knockout. Well-deserved spot for Reality. We'll see them in the semifinal. So yeah, that's going to do it for the fights portion of this one. So after those first 6 matchups and those victories by Big Dill and Reality in the Redemption Rumbles, the bracket is now set. The next semifinal is now set. So we saw quite a few exciting matchups, and I'm sure there's going to be quite a few more based on the potential we've seen from several of these robots. I think we should go ahead and quick take a look at the bracket for next episode. Let's take a look at what fights we'll see in the first round. And here is the bracket for the next episode. So right at the top left there, we have a showdown between 2 BattleBots contenders. Copperhead, who looked very good in that fight with Slapbox tonight. They'll be taking on Big Dill, who looked very good themselves in that redemption round. That should be an awesome showdown between those 2 robots. Then down below, we got 2 non-BattleBots contenders, both who fought well in their matchups tonight. We have Holy Diver and their vertical spinner will be taking on Blue66's horizontal spinner. Then on the right side, we got battle between 2 BattleBots contenders at the top there. We got one of the most feared robots in this group, Tombstone. They'll be taking on Reality, who was the winner of our last matchup. And then down below, 2-Head Death Flamingo will fight Axe Backwards. Another showdown between 2 awesome robots. So next episode should be fun. Quite a few of these robots showed some major potential, so certainly earning that grand final spot is going to be a very competitive business. So this is going to be fun, and certainly lots of exciting matchups is going to be on the way. So that's going to do it for this episode. So thanks for tuning into this episode. If you enjoyed it and wish to come to another episode and wish to watch the next one to find out what happens next, be sure to hit that subscribe button for sure. So there's not too many heats and semifinals left before we get to the last chance section and then eventually get to the long-awaited grand final where we will crown the champion of this season of War Machines. It's been a long path throughout this season, but certainly a worthwhile one for sure. Yeah, that's all for this episode, so thanks for watching once again, and I will see you all next time. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for watching.